and education-wise, and to think that you deserve and that you can express yourself just for the sake of expression. And I think shifting it a little bit and making it something that is available to diverse groups that are usually not given the opportunities is a political shift of itself. Part of the work is even justice, having people watching a performance made by, determined by, performed by people who are experiencing homelessness that are determining the agenda of the day instead of the other way around like it is usually. So.
When you take your car in for an oil change, a good mechanic will also take care of other routine maintenance to make sure your car runs safely and efficiently. Protecting your health isn't much different. When you get a COVID-19 vaccine, it's important to make sure you're also protected from other serious but preventable diseases. It's easy and convenient to get other routine vaccines at the same time as a COVID-19 vaccine. So make sure you ask a healthcare professional about other vaccines you may need to maintain your health.
I will be right by your side. If I can't find the cure, I'll put you with my love. No matter what, you know I'll put you with my love. And if you say you're okay, I'm gonna heal you anyway. Promise I'll always be there. Promise I'll be.
Yes, women can have it all, including heart attacks. Know the signs. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. Get heart checked.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Umergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. Umergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. Umergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your Umergency app now.
The strength of America, our values, our way of life hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together, extending hands of compassion, service, and hope to those who need it most. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities across our nation by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during times like we're facing today.
It's what the Legion's all about.
From blood drives to distributing food, from responding to emergencies and protecting the most vulnerable among us. Our mission is making America's communities stronger.
We are one family, and therefore, we care.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
Do aliens exist? That's a really interesting question, and one that we have been trying to understand and explore and figure out for a really long time. We have not yet discovered life on any other planet. We haven't seen any scientifically supported evidence for extraterrestrial life. But if we think about life on this planet beyond the big things, the elephants, the whales, redwoods, and focus on the tiny things, nearly everywhere on Earth that we've looked, we found microbial life. And our definition of habitable continues to expand. Off the Earth, we've only begun to look. NASA has sent 5 rovers and 4 landers to the surface of Mars. And in addition to that, our orbiters have been outfitted with some amazing cameras to take pictures of the whole surface of the planet. And we've only explored a tiny fraction of Mars. And that's only one of the promising bodies to look for life in our solar system. There are icy moons in the outer solar system like Enceladus and Europa that look like they may have subsurface oceans that could be habitable. And then that's just what's in our solar system. The more exoplanets we find around other stars, the more we learn about how many different environments could exist for life. So we can't yet say for sure whether or not aliens exist. But to quote Carl Sagan, the universe is a pretty big place. If it's just us, it seems like an awful waste of space. So we will keep looking.
Shall we?
When you accept a ride from a ride-hailing app, you also accept the risks that come with it. Many ride-hail companies consider their drivers third-party providers, so they don't have to accept any responsibility or accountability for their actions. Always ride responsibly.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Okay, ma'am, let's start CPR. I want you to get him flat on the ground. Have you ever done CPR before? Yes, I'm starting CPR. Okay, you're doing a great job. I want you to keep pushing. Push, 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 push.
Engine 11, Medic 5, and Tower 2, Channel 82, cardiac arrest, 8820 South on stage.
Keep doing the compressions, okay? The fire department is en route. We're going to be there shortly. It's important you don't stop compressions until the firefighters take over, okay?
Service.
Commitment. To the community.
And to each other. are here for you. To do all that we can
to make things better.
We are.
We are the Tacoma Fire Department.
I honestly dislike the term work-life balance, really. I think that it assumes that work is a chore that keeps us from doing all the other things in our life that we enjoy. And I don't really think that that's true. I think that at the end of the day, to really enjoy our lives means that we love the work that we do.
So at Labor and Industries, our work impacts just about every single person in the state. I believe that every one of us should be able to work safe and come home at the end of the day. For me, that's more than just our mission. It's why we come to work every day.
We have over 3,000 employees in a wide variety of jobs spread across 22 field sites all across Washington state.
So no matter where you find yourself in Washington, we most likely have an office near you.
Miles of coastline to see.
Mountains to explore. Not to mention plenty of hiking trails.
And if you like hitting the slopes, Washington has you covered.
And in a state as highly diverse as Washington, it really requires us to have problem solvers with perspectives that are just as diverse.
Who I am is just as important as what I produce.
We don't just look at our employees as static. They have goals and ambitions. And so we're not just investing in them to work harder. We want them to live better.
We have a generous amount of paid time off. We have teleworking options, and we have a whole host of competitive benefits.
So whether you're picking up your kids from school early on Wednesdays,
beating the gym rush on Tuesdays and Thursdays,
or whether you're working alongside your best friend on Fridays.
So that means work is in harmony with life.
So we're looking to hire the best and the brightest to come work alongside what I feel are some of the highest performing teams in state government.
We find and we develop the very best because we create a culture of success.
We're industrial hygienists.
We're claim managers.
We're designers.
We're change managers.
Elevator inspectors.
IT professionals.
We are avid readers.
Musicians.
Explorers.
Outdoor enthusiasts.
Singer.
Veterans.
Soccer dad.
Umpire.
Artists.
Bar enthusiasts.
Coffee snob.
Teammates. And we're all public servants, fiercely committed to one thing. Life!
This is the City of Tacoma's 24-hour information channel, TV Tacoma. Watch us, watch Tacoma.
I would say Shalishan is definitely, it's a community of transition. This is still a strong community. You know, we're still a community that believe in our families, that believe in the work that we do as far as living here. This is a community of resilience.
Michael Mira used to say that blood, sweat, tears, and marriages were shed over this development. And there have been so many people that have dedicated so much to contributing to the success of the redevelopment and now the vital neighborhood that it is. There are lots of stories. It was not always easy.
Housing is related to almost every other civic interest. It's hard to talk, for example, about education without asking if the children are adequately housed, child welfare and housing, wage progression, economic development, transportation policy and housing, mental health, physical health and housing, justice and racial justice. Developing New Salishan was ambitious. It was the largest redevelopment of its kind west of the Mississippi River. THA tore down and tore up 200 urban acres in a $300 million redevelopment that took everything THA had. The history of Salishan really began with the attack on Pearl Harbor. When that particular war started for this country, the federal government realized two things: that a lot of people were headed to the Pacific Northwest to build the ships and planes that won that war. And when they got here, they would make a housing shortage a lot worse. In response, the federal government, as an emergency wartime measure, built Salishan to house war workers and their families. After the war, the federal government gave those communities to the local housing authorities for them to own and manage as public housing. When it was given to the Tacoma Housing Authority, it was one of the few communities in Tacoma that welcomed black families. Salishan to this day is one of the region's most racially and ethnically and linguistically diverse communities. Salishan, by the 1990s, was worn out. It wasn't built to be permanent. During the war, it was built to be temporary housing. So the people who designed it would probably have been surprised to know that it lasted so long.
The idea of the Salishan redevelopment, it started in the year 2000, was to create a vibrant mixed income, mixed ethnic community where market rate houses existed next to affordable houses, existed next to houses that were owned and subsidized by the housing authority. The goal was also to move in various types of community assets like the Family Investment Center, which allowed a place for people to gather in neighborhood groups. Of course, there's now the community health center that's there. There are a variety of other community-based assets that over the years have located in Salishan to provide not just assistance for the residents of Salishan, but the greater east side of Tacoma as well. And obviously the middle school, First Creek, was built subsequent to Salishan being completed. We think that it spurred a lot of redevelopment and economic growth, not just in the boundaries of Salishan itself, but throughout the neighborhood and that part of town.
I went to Stewart Junior High, which was a feeder school for Lincoln. And when I got to Lincoln, there were kids there from McElvey. And McElvey was